Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
With Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes. Terence win.
The boxing world is buzzing as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have officially signed for a mega fight. Many boxing legends and analysts have weighed in, with opinions split. Some believe Crawford's skills give him a real shot at victory, while others argue that Canelo's size and power will be too much to handle. Boxing legend Mike Tyson disapproves of the matchup, pointing out that Crawford struggled against Egidijus Kavaliauskas due to size and awkwardness. He suggests that facing Canelo at 168 pounds is an unwise decision.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that was just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
David Benavidez has an interesting take on this fight. He believes Terence Crawford actually has a good chance of winning. In fact, Benavidez wouldn't be surprised if Crawford pulled off an upset, saying that Crawford's skills, mindset, and work ethic could be enough to beat Canelo.
Looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
Next question. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
However, at the same time, Benavidez admits he doesn't really want this fight to happen. He acknowledges that Canelo is the money fight and that everyone wants a shot at him, but he personally disagrees with Crawford moving up that much in weight.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But you know, I see that weight class. You know, I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Alexander Usyk, a master technician himself, sees this fight as a battle between size and skill. He acknowledges that Canelo is naturally the bigger fighter, which will be a factor. However, Usyk believes in skill over size. He thinks Crawford, being the sharper and more technically gifted boxer, will have the edge. According to Usyk, skills win fights, and in his eyes, Crawford is the better boxer.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who do you
like? Terence, it's
wow.
My friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence is different man. Terence work in two stojka.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
And
right,
switch hitter.
yes,
He's a switch
yes,
hitter. Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very, very, very smart. But feel distance and place.
Adjustment,
spacing,
exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking, exactly.
Canelo, big. Yeah, Canelo too. It's good boxing. But I say
Wow.
Roy Jones Jr., another boxing legend, has given his prediction for the fight and sees two possible outcomes. He believes that if Canelo comes in at his best and fights the way he should, he will win. However, if Canelo is not at his peak, Terence Crawford will take advantage and secure the victory. For Jones Jr., the fight depends entirely on which version of Canelo shows up that night.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight better beat this nigga. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Sean Porter, who has shared the ring with Terence Crawford, has some concerns about this matchup. He acknowledges that Crawford is tough and resilient, but questions whether he can handle Canelo's power. Porter knows firsthand how physically strong Crawford is, but against a fighter like Canelo, who has knocked out bigger opponents, it could be a different story. While Crawford has great defensive skills, Porter believes taking punches from someone like Canelo could be a serious challenge.
The others say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo had, and how we find how they even out.
Defensive skills. Porter believes taking punches from someone like Canelo could be a serious challenge. Interview 7. Amir Khan, who has fought Canelo in the past, is outright warning Terence Crawford to stay away from this fight. Khan knows firsthand what it feels like to be hit by Canelo and doesn't think Crawford should take that risk. He believes moving up to 168 pounds is simply too big of a jump for Crawford and that it could end badly for him.
I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Canelo versus Jamel Charlo playing out.
I think Canelo just outboxes. Well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well. So I think Canelo just wins that fight easy.
It'd be a knockout.
Could be, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Former champion Caleb Plant believes that Terence Crawford is strong and has a unique boxing style that makes him dangerous in any fight. He acknowledges that the weight difference is a factor but also highlights Crawford's ability to adapt. Plant thinks Crawford's boxing IQ and strategy could play a significant role, making the fight more competitive than some expect.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, be able to find out firsthand.
Teofimo Lopez isn't giving Crawford much of a chance in this fight. According to him, Canelo is simply too big, too strong, and too experienced at higher weights. Lopez believes that at some point in the fight, Canelo will land a big shot that will end it by knockout.
What round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm gonna put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm gonna put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. You know, I 8. So yeah, Ryan, Joe, Eddie Reynoso also. That'd be cool, man. We all get work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own underground boxing, me and Ryan, before we fight.
Ryan Garcia shares a similar opinion to Teofimo Lopez. He believes Canelo's size and strength will be too much for Crawford to handle. While Garcia respects Crawford's skills, he doesn't think Crawford has the physicality needed to compete with a fighter like Canelo at 168 pounds.
A great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. So yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason, right?
He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
the
heard
winners
that.
would fight each other.
I didn't know that, but I'm down. I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
The last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's going to be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about that?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, it might sue.
Veteran trainer Joe Diaz is very clear in his assessment. He doesn't think Terence Crawford has any chance of beating Canelo. Diaz acknowledges that Crawford is a great fighter, but in this specific matchup, he doesn't see anything in Crawford's arsenal that could trouble Canelo. He believes the size difference and Canelo's power will be too overwhelming.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Promoter Eddie Hearn also has reservations about this fight. While he acknowledges that Crawford is an elite fighter, he believes the weight gap is simply too much. Hearn also argues that even if Canelo wins at 168 pounds, he shouldn't receive much credit for it since he would be beating a naturally smaller man who started at 140 pounds.
Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Conor Benn has a more balanced perspective on this fight. He believes both fighters have an equal chance of winning. In his eyes, it's a true 50-50th fight where anything can happen. While many favor Canelo because of his size, Ben thinks Crawford's skills and ring intelligence could make it a very even contest.
154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo. Yeah.
Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. and then Canelo, you know, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia. It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Shakur Stevenson is fully backing Terence Crawford. He believes that skills pay the bills, and in this case, he sees Crawford as the more skilled fighter. Stevenson also dismisses the idea that Crawford is too small, arguing that he's bigger and stronger than people think.
He's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get the 147, 154.
Yes, he's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him
in person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying I remember when he fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah. No cap.
I did tell him after the Smith fight, I said, man, go get Canelo. You the greatest. Yeah. This era.
For sure.
Yeah, it's no question.
No question, yes.
Actually, back to the you and Terence working together, because you've shared everything you've learned from him. There was fans doing their homework in the Avanesian fight and in the Spence fight saying, actually, it looks like Terence may have taken a couple things from Shakur as well, not just Shakur taking things from Terence.
Jeff Mayweather is another boxing figure who respects Terence Crawford's skills. He believes that, skill-wise, Crawford is the better fighter. However, he warns that Canelo can't be taken lightly, as his size and power make him a dangerous opponent.
Terence Crawford, I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of Canelo's mistakes.
Yeah, so it's an almost kind of a battle of, we have two guys, obviously the best, two of the best 3 or 4 boxers in the sport, regardless of weight class, but, which one is closer to the version of their prime, right? They're both getting older. I mean, they're both still, very, very good at this point, but, do you think maybe one of them it's time for them to start falling off, and that might be the difference in this fight, that one starts to trail off a little bit?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, both guys are aging, and you never know. You never know when they're going to show their age. So it could be either one of them that does that. But I mean, I just lean toward Crawford because I just see dude has so many skills, and I mean, I just see that him possibly winning the fight by decision.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards believes Terence Crawford can defeat Canelo Alvarez by using his superior mobility, reach, and stamina. He emphasizes that Crawford's ability to fight effectively while moving, along with his mental resilience, will be key factors in overcoming Canelo's pressure.
Catches, he slips, he's really good. But Crawford is just so clutch. His conditioning is so good. They're going to be about similar heights. Crawford's a little taller. He's longer. And I think that Crawford's adjustments in fights are so underrated. He is a master adjuster. He finds something in every fight and just goes with it. That last fight, people talk about he struggled. You know what he found that last fight? A simple jab. He just started beating the guy up with a jab. He finds something in every fight. And he don't fight a lazy fight.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas is confidently picking Terence Crawford to win. According to Atlas, Crawford is simply too good, too smart, and too well prepared. He believes Crawford's ability to adjust and his high ring IQ will lead him to victory. For Atlas, it's not about size, it's about skill, and he's convinced Crawford has what it takes to win.
not official, but it may be a done deal. Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Matvedorf, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matvedorf was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terrence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the. What was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
Sports analyst Ariel Helwani discussed this fight with his host and brought up an interesting point. Canelo is getting older, and there are questions about whether his legs are still as strong as they used to be. Meanwhile, Crawford is a skilled switch hitter who looked impressive in his first fight at 154 pounds. Helwani believes Crawford is becoming more comfortable at a bigger weight and has been preparing for a challenge like this for a long time. With his high boxing IQ, Helwani thinks Crawford could make this a very competitive fight.
I asked him about this fight, and his response surprised me. I want to play this clip for you and get your response to David's answer. Here it is.
It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say 25 just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long, long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long, long time. So
that's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.